Well, hello and welcome to another Faith, Philosophy and Life. Me, Mr. Shelton. It's great to see you, and I am sure that you're doing well. And what we're going to do today is we're going to think about a lesson that's very similar to a previous one that I taught earlier in the year. So there is definitely some overlap with this if you've been following my channel for some time, or you've been in my lessons for some time, and I just feel even sorrier for you guys. So we're going to think about where have I come from. Okay, so there's quite a few changes to this, but the principle stays the same. So today we're going to explore what makes us human and how our experiences affect us. So I want you to think, what makes you different than other people? Go and grab your pen and paper, because here's our cheesy intro music. Okay, so our title's there. Please make sure you've got that down. As always, please do pause and me as you go. Get anything down you need to. And please do photograph your work and send it through to your teachers, because we do like to see what you're getting up to make sure that your learning is exactly where we need it to be. So where we're going is a good outcome will be describe what gives you hope. Okay, what gives you hope in life? And we need that at this time, don't we? It's great if you can talk about how your experiences have influenced your life, and even better if you can talk about how your experience have shaped what you would like to achieve in your life. Because again, what your experiences are guide you to what it is that you're going to maybe aim for in life. And I certainly know from my life, it's been very, very varied. I've just been saying that to someone on Facebook, actually. So today we're going to look at mastermind, we're going to look at hope, our tree life, message to me, not to me, to you, message to, anyway, and two truths and a lie. Now, I think what would be really fun with this is if you, again, could network with somebody else during this lesson and maybe have them ask you questions about yourself, things that they don't know about you, and you can share a little bit about who you are with them. Now, if you're doing this by yourself, then maybe grab somebody else that you're living with, maybe talk to a pet, because let's be honest, they like listening to some of your voices, I'm sure. My pets don't. They like to run into other people's gardens, and that's the children as well as the cats. So, things I know about myself. See if you can get someone to ask you some questions about yourself. You don't just write any of this down. And share some thoughts back with them, and maybe ask them questions as well. So pause me now, and then come back to me. Okay, so I wonder what gives you hope. Okay, make a little mind map for me with the word hope in the middle, and come up with a list of things that maybe that inspire you, people that inspire you, events that inspire you, things that you read about that inspire you, anything that gives you hope in life. And yeah, let's try and come up with 5 or 6 things. That is quite tricky to do, but think about the things that maybe encourage you in life, and people even. Okay, so pause me now and see what you can come up with. Okay, so I wonder what you came up with. You might have talked about inspirational people, like, for example, Martin Luther King or the Pope or Mother Teresa. You might have talked about things that you read that give you hope. So there's many books of fiction that give hope. There's many films that give hope. There's certain music that I'll turn to, or radio stations that I'll turn to give me hope when I'm feeling low. There's songs. And I'll be, obviously, the more you can have down with that, the better. Because these are all things that influence you. These are all things that change you and make you who you are. So when we're thinking about our learning objectives, we're thinking about these experiences as well as the hope. So we're on our great already. So what I need you to do is I need you to draw a tree. Okay, let me just move myself out of the way. There we go. So I need you to draw a tree. And this tree is going to have lots of leaves and lots of branches on the top. But it's also going to have lots of roots at the bottom. And you're going to make this really pretty. And the whole point is that at the top of the tree, you're going to write down what your hopes and dreams are for life. What do you want to achieve in your life? I know at this point things are looking a little bit bleak, that we may never get out of this, but we will. And you will go on to live a much greater life than the world that I currently live in, because technology is going to increase, your freedom should increase, in terms of your money will hopefully be higher than ours is, because it always happens like that with younger people. I'm feeling quite old right now. So what are your hopes and dreams for life? They go at the top, okay, and maybe do some little pictures to go with them and add some colour. Then your trunk is things that you enjoy now. So friends that you know, people, values that you currently have, things that you think are important to you. And then the roots are your history. They're things that have influenced you in the past. They're things that maybe you have done in the past, schools that you've been to, friends that you've had, family members, and music that you used to like. Maybe stretch yourself with this. So the longer the root, the more influence it has on you as well. Give yourself 20 minutes, 25 minutes to do this, because the whole point of this task is for you to show, when we're thinking about kingdom values, which is what this unit's all about. Last lesson we thought about New World Order. Today we're thinking about what your values are and what gives you hope. So the more you can put in this, the better that will be. So pause me now, get that done, and then come back to me. Okay, so you're going to write a letter to yourself. Dear Jim, I want to tell you about my life. And then you're going to write something. And what I want this to do is I want this to be actually something really inspirational. I want this to be something that when you look back at it, if you're having a bad day, you think, I have got value. And I know from many schools that I've taught in, one of the biggest issues that we've got in this world that we're in is we have a picture in our heads about what we want to be, and we compare ourselves to it. But what we want to be isn't necessarily realistic. What we want to be isn't necessarily who we are. So what I've done is I've gone through the Bible, not all of it. Well, I have, but that's by the by. I've gone through the Bible and I've pulled out some quotes which I think are really good. These are ones that, as a Christian, really speak to me. And they're ones that the ethos of the school that I work in really speak to us as a school as well. And these just might help. So in your little letter to yourself, you might even choose to use one or two of these to remind yourself on a dull day that you have importance. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Saying if you believe in Jesus, if you know Jesus, then you are a child of God. You're not just a spiritual child. Yes, you're not just a child of your parents and whatever that might look like. You're a child of God. God predestined us to be adopted through Jesus Christ. So God has chosen us. That's what it means. He's chosen us to be adopted, to be taken on as part of his family. So God created us in his image. We're the likeness of God. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. You're not an accident. Yes, we all have issues. No offence if you don't think you do, but I certainly do. But God still formed us. God still made us. And yeah, there might be things that we want to do differently, but we're still perfect in God's eyes for who we are. You are God's special possession. God owns you. That sounds a little bit creepy, but my kids are my possession. And I look after them and honour them. And you are also God's possession, and God looks after you and honours you. See what great love the Father has lavished on us, given us, that we should be called children of God. Okay, so maybe use one or two of those if they fit with your worldview. If they don't fit with your worldview, then don't, because I don't want you to be writing anything down that you don't believe. And make yourself a little letter about things that maybe you want to look back on in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month's time, when you're feeling really low. You flick back and you're inspired by yourself, because ultimately your worth and your value only become really, really important when you own it yourself. So that's going to take you to the rest of this lesson. And just before we pause and finish off, we've talked about things that give you hope. We've talked about experiences that have influenced you. And hopefully now you're starting to think about things that you would like to achieve in life and things that are important to you. So I'm going to leave it there. Should I say. Thanks very much for your time. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Wash hands. God bless you. And as always, do send everything through to your teachers, because if you feel it's suitable, obviously. And take care of yourselves. Bye. And you're amazing. Bye.